Hi everyone. Today I want to share this cute little Go Team card that I am making for the basketball team that our church has. It's called Upward Basketball. It's a program they have every year, and I was asked to make cards for the coaches and volunteers who have worked it, and so I came up with this card here using the For the Win stamp set. I love this stamp set because it has just different balls and things for all kinds of sports activities. You've got football and baseball and basketball, soccer, golf even. So it's really fun, and I think it's good for adults and children. There's a fun little trophy and win. You can use a lot of these little images as cupcake toppers too, if you've ever done that, made little cupcake toppers using toothpick and some images and put them in cupcakes. It's really fun for birthday party favors and things like that, and it's good for scrapbook pages, and it's good for thank you cards for the coaches and volunteers. So I have to make 35 of these, and so I am going to show you how I made this really simple version so that I could mass produce it. I stamped a ton of basketballs and have been coloring them, and I cut them out. You can also use punches and dies. I couldn't find my perfect punch for this, and so I cut them out while I was sitting in a waiting room. So I just cut out the little circles, but you can use punches or dies, but I can't bring my die machine into the waiting room. So I just cut them out and put them in a little bag, and I have just all these little bags of pieces, and I've been kind of assembling them as I go. So I've got a few already assembled here. I used the Starburst punch, and this is the 2-inch circle punch, and I just put that right in there. This is different than this one. As you can see, this one has a bigger rim around it. This one has a smaller one, so I must have used a 1 3/4 inch circle punch for this one, but it doesn't matter. The coaches are not going to see each other's. And I just started building little layers with my punches, and then I cut out some stars. There's a lot of really cute star dies. My favorite new star die, let me show you, is the Stitch Stars, and you're going to want to add this to your collection. It's got a million beautiful stars. This is the one I was going to use. It's the right size, but again, it uses the Big Shot or a die cutting machine, and I couldn't bring that with me to a waiting room, and I had to make 35 of them, so I used a star punch. But you can certainly check out this star collection. It's a beautiful star collection, and I'm going to use this on the scrapbook page with my player on it. So I'll have some stars, and I'll have these big ones, little ones, and all that. Okay, but this one is just a plain star. And then I just layered some basketballs. And I want to show you how I did my striped background. I did it recently on a St. Patrick's Day card, and I think this is an easy way to make a nice stripe. I use a piece of scrap here. It's actually this grid paper cut up that after a while they get kind of dirty, so I give myself a new one, nice and clean one, and I use the dirty one for other things, such as using it here. And what I did is I just took some adhesive and made little stripes going down. And the team uniforms this year were red, white, and blue, so that's why I chose these. And I was able to use a ton of my paper strips that I have left over in a bag. I had to cut some up. I didn't have 35 cards worth of paper strips, but I had a lot. So these are 3/4 of an inch wide, and I cut them approximately 5 inches long. And I just layered them right there on my little piece of grid paper. And the reason why I wanted to layer them right on here is because you can get them tightly lined up, and you can then cut them out in a shape. Now I'm going to cut them out with a plain rectangle, but you could even use your star die and cut those out, which I might do on my scrapbook page. They're all nicely lined up, and then you can just cut them right out. This would be cute for Memorial Day parade too, or 4th of July. Anyway, I'm cutting them out with the stitched rectangle die like that, and I'm just going to run that through. Now, my tip for that because you've adhered it to another sheet, it's a pretty thin sheet. Don't use a piece of cardstock to layer it on. Find, if you don't have a grid paper like I do, I like the grid paper because it helps you make straight lines, but if you don't have grid paper, look for a thin piece of paper, maybe some lined notebook paper or some printer paper that's really thin, and then you can still cut through it. And when you're using a rectangle or a straight line, put it on a slight angle so that when you run it through the machine, it's not hitting that hard edge. It's going to hit a little bit of the edge at a time. And now I'm just layering these onto my card base. And now for the little Go Team, I used a scrap of black. Along with some Versamark. And I'm just going to heat that up. And I want to make these a little thinner, so I'm just going to snip them a little bit. And I wanted to flag the ends. Now you can eyeball it and cut them yourself. I happen to have this triple banner punch, and I like it, but it has settings starting at 1 inch and then up to 2. So you got 1, 1.5, and 2. But I wanted some smaller ones, so I measured it out with a ruler and my Sharpie, and I added some inches. I added a 1/2 inch and a 3/4 inch mark. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in. Here you go. I think I have about 30 more to go. Well, I hope you like my sports theme for the win cards, and I hope you'll join me at my Facebook page. I have a Beth's Paper Cuts Facebook page, as well as a group page where you can share your ideas too, or we can chat back and forth at Beth's Paper Cuts Idea Sharing Group. Check it out there. And also my blog, bethspapercuts.com. And if you go there, a pop-up will appear and you can sign up for my newsletter where I send out every week a card idea or a tutorial or just what's going on in the Stampin' Up world. So you'll get a weekly newsletter or sometimes a promotion that's going on that I want to keep you informed about. So join me at all my different little social media places, and I hope to see you there. Thanks for watching. Bye.